What's going on there, guys? We back with another one. Today we got to talk a little bit more about Ja Morant, but we're going to hear it from Michael Vick on the day. And as we all know, Michael Vick had his fair share of legal troubles when he was in the NFL and the top, part of his career. He was found guilty of dog fighting, and they went to this compound and they found all these different things, man, that was horrific that those animals went through actually. And he served his time, and he ended up getting in trouble behind that. But he's from the same place Allen Iverson is from, and there were different things that happened that weren't as big with his entourage throughout the time. You could even see it on his documentary. He spoke on some of it, his friend that he had come live with him from his hood and everything. But he offered a piece of advice to Ja Morant, and this is what he had to say. Check it out.
You came through. Any advice for how Ja Morant handles his moving forward?
Yeah. Well, John got a team of people around him. They're going to create an understanding of what it takes to move forward and learn from this experience. That's all it is, learn experience, and Ja young, so he'll get it right.
So, he was very positive and everything about Ja, but he did say, the people around him will learn from this. And I don't know if he didn't want to go in or if he didn't want to say, he has to cut some people off in his circle. Because remember, Ja said that we going to grow from this in his sit down with Jalen Rose. And it was kind of controversial because many were saying that he should make that circle a little tighter and don't have these guys around as much as he does, or trouble will continue to follow, But he also spoke on another topic, and that's Lamar Jackson and his whole issue with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, if you don't remember what he said when Lamar sat out of the playoff game, this is what he had to say.
If this team was, 2-15, I could see him not coming back and trying to finish out the season. It just seems that, we all play this game to try to win a Super Bowl. Like, that's the main goal. And if you have a team that's good enough to get to the playoffs, and
you guys, we're not having this conversation. That contract.
You're not having
you're 3 games.
I understand.
Away.
He's playing the game. I don't know if I would have the balls to do it. I'm being real honest with you. To sit out. But kudos to him. I mean, he's about his business. He figures they don't want to pay him. So,
but Coach say, like you just said, it's the playoffs, man. You 3 games away. Put a brace on it. Get it going.
And look,
put a brace on it. Let's go.
It's hard to say that though.
Right. We don't know if he's not.
I don't know the extent of his injury.
I played the whole season on a sprained MCL, so.
Yeah, I understand if he's not ready.
Whole season.
But with a lower body injury, he's going to be up in the press box. He's not going to be on the field for me.
Charles.
And so this is what he had to say right after he talked about Ja.
Yeah, and I wanted to get your take on Lamar Jackson. The brother is, you know how exciting he is. He's the Michael. He's the one we see now. We connect him to you. Okay. Do you think that it's good that he represents himself as an agent, or is it messing with his money because agents have certain doors open?
Agents have their own relationships, and they have relationships with general managers and owners. But we're looking at the case is different. Just hopefully they're not looking back 5 years from now and regretting the decisions that's been made. But so far so good.
And so with Lamar Jackson, there's been conflicting stories coming out about what he actually wanted from the Ravens. His camp told Stephen A. Smith one thing, and there's another thing being reported. Stephen A. Smith said that the organization stopped at like $130 million. That was their cap on guaranteed money for him. And Lamar Jackson and them are actually calling cap on that statement. And what's being reported is he wanted over $200 million guaranteed. So somebody's lying somewhere. It doesn't make sense at all what they're saying, about what he was seeking with his contract. So, because I think the Ravens don't want to overpay for Lamar, and I think Lamar doesn't want to be underpaid, and rightfully so. We see what these organizations do when they done with you. So in the prime of your career, you need to get every dollar market value for, where you stack up amongst the other people or your peers, And so I can't fault him for that. And we just going to see where this goes. Now, as far as Ja Morant, I feel like, first of all, he is almost done with his suspension. I think isn't tonight the last game he has to sit out because they credited him with time served, and he has 8 total games, and I think he missed 5 or 6, and I think this one, which happened to be against the Warriors tonight, is the last one, and he'll be back. I'm gonna say what a lot of people don't want to say, but he's gonna have to cut some of those people off, and he's gonna have to take some accountability too. As a grown man, you can't just have everybody around from your childhood and everything. I know everybody wants to keep it real with their day ones and keep it solid and never switched up, and you want to live by all of these sayings, and you might be able to keep a few, but the ones that are willing to let you crash and go crash with your name attached to it, that's some low-level thinking that you should elevate past. I understand it more when we are in impoverished situations. We don't correctly analyze the situation in the full scope of the ramifications of our actions, right? We just go and we do it off of emotion. But at this point, he has his brand, he has other brands, and he has his family, attached to everything that he does and says. So you can't be on go all the time. You cannot fight every battle. You might even have to take some disrespect. Can you imagine how much disrespect LeBron James has taken since he's been in the National Basketball Association that he's had to brush off or ignore? You have to be bigger than it. That's a part of it. Because, just due to the fact that, people talk about clickbait and media and all these things. Well, yeah, you're going to give them much more clickbait if you react to everything that makes you feel upset, or anyone that makes you angry, or anyone that calls you out your name, or some of his incidents seem self-inflicted. Seems like he went out of his way. To point the laser at the Pacers, that's just something that could have been totally avoided. And his family, I would hope that they would stop calling him to come handle all of their issues, or have him pull up with his entourage. Because if Ja gets in trouble and he goes to prison, all of this is gone away. The life that you all live, everything you're afforded, all the luxuries, they all disappear overnight, essentially. So, yeah, man, we want him to come back, and we want him to show who he really is. He's still that hungry kid that played at Crestwood, that was underrated and was just playing to get a scholarship and playing to play at the highest level. That kid Murray State found in a back gym somewhere. Is he still just that hungry for it? And the people around him should understand it. And those that can't understand where he's going and where he's trying to be at, he should be trying to be amongst the greatest point guards to play the game. But now it's going to take some work. He already had some issues with injury where he couldn't play back-to-backs, or they were sitting him out and managing him some. So he had that issue too, but this just compounds that. But we're going to see, man, is he going to come back stronger? And I don't want to say smarter. Is he going to make better decisions, once he comes back? He seems to be an intelligent young man who can gather his thoughts and articulate himself. But is he going to let that show with his actions? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.